In this video, let me walk through how to download R and then start very simple commands and working in R. So if I go search on the internet, download R, you'll see this R project for statistical computing. This is where you could download the base R package. So I'll open that in one tab and then show you the other thing that we want to do. So then there's this download RStudio. What RStudio does is make working in R slightly easier by providing some syntax highlighting and some visual package installing and some other things like that that make it slightly easier to work with. So we'll mostly work here. So you can go ahead and look on RStudio's website. You see this RStudio desktop, so you can download the free version. You don't need any paid version. And first you have to install R, so you can click on here and download that R version. Or if you first download any version of R, updated version of R, you can go here to that R web page. Here it says download R. Choose a mirror where you can download it, and you can download for whatever your system is. You can download R. Or here, if you already have R installed and you want to be able to install RStudio, then you can do that here, depending on your system as well. But you need both R and RStudio if you're going to use RStudio. Once you have them downloaded and installed, and if you open RStudio, this is what it looks like. If you open R without RStudio, it has something very similar. So there's this console that you're going to work in. Same thing here. This is the console that you're going to work in RStudio. So most of it will parallel easily between the two. So let me work with RStudio. So in the console, you are going to have, that's where you can input commands, and also where you will see errors and warnings and output. So let's do a simple one. If we just want to command R to calculate 4 plus 4, it gives us an output of 8. Of course, that's simpler than what we would use R for, but it helps us understand how to get started. If this is just a single command that we might type into the console, but sometimes we might want to do more complicated commands and even a long series of commands. And to do that, we would open, here it says a new file, R script. So what we're going to do is open a new window, and in this window we can save a long list of commands that we might want to make. So the same setup, let's say we just want 4 plus 4, but perhaps we have a lot of other commands that are going to go in a sequence that we want to be able to save and not type in manually to the console every time. We're going to keep that in a script here. So let's say I do this and I run this. Notice I've highlighted it and then I run it. Well, that does the same thing down here. The reason I would highlight it is just to run one particular section of it. If I want to run the whole code and not highlight it, this will run everything for that I have here in the script. Of course, it's the same thing because we only have the one line of code here in the script. And then if we can save this and name it something and save it, and we can keep this script and use it over and over again. Then also there are some other things in the both R and RStudio that new windows will pop up if we run something. So over here, plots, if we run some plots in R, that will just pop up. If we're using RStudio, it'll show up here. In RStudio, it also gives us, we can go through the file path and see what we have available. It'll tell us what packages we have, and we can update those. We can get other help here as well. And then in the top right here, you can see things that are in the environment that you're working in. So if we create some object over here, it'll show up here. So let me just give a quick example of that, and I'll type it in the console here. If I create an object called A that is equal to 4 plus 4. It's going to pop up here, and now we have an object called A that that is equal to 4 plus 4, which is 8. So all of the things that we are creating will show up over here. With that in mind, now we can start importing data, working with it, and starting to make R useful for us.